ये ले पागल बाबू।
Oh no!
मम्मी बचाओ। अब ऊपर जाकर चिड़ियों के साथ दिवाली मनाना। मम्मी बचाओ। अरे चिंटू और चिंकी, तुम दोनों ने बाबू के साथ क्या किया? उसे भी रॉकेट से बांधकर ऊपर उड़ा दिया क्या? अरे अब ये रॉकेट और कितना ऊपर जाएगा? इस तरह से तो मैं बहुत दूर चला जाऊंगा। मुझे जल्दी इसका रास्ता बदलना होगा। अरे वाह, अब रॉकेट तो नीचे जाने लगा। अब चिंटू और चिंकी मुझसे बच नहीं पाएंगे। अरे तुम्हें बस एक दो झापड़ ही मारना चाहिए था, लेकिन तुमने तो उसे ऊपर ही उड़ा दिया। अगर कहीं उसे कुछ हो गया तो उसने भी तो हमें ऊपर उड़ाया था। अरे चिंटू ऊपर देखो, बाबू वाला रॉकेट हमारी तरफ नीचे आ रहा है क्या? अब तुम दोनों बचोगे नहीं चिंटू और चिंकी, मैं आ रहा हूँ। अरे बाबू छोड़ दो इन दोनों को। बचो चिंटू और चिंकी, मैं आ गया। भागो चिंकी, भागो। कहाँ तक भागोगे? अब तुम दोनों मुझसे बच नहीं पाओगे। अरे मुझे तो छोड़ दे रे, मैं तेरी माँ हूँ। भागती रहो मम्मी, वो बाबू पगला गया है, वो अब हमें छोड़ेगा नहीं। अगर तूने मुझे रॉकेट से उड़ाया तो मैं तुम्हें तुम्हारे पापा से बहुत पिटवाऊंगी। चिंटू और मम्मी बचाओ। मम्मी तुम आगे से हट जाओ, अब चिंटू की बारी है।
Oh no!
अरे रॉकेट को कहीं और ले जाओ और चिंटू और चिंकी को माफ कर दो। नहीं, मैं इन दोनों को माफ नहीं करूंगा। आगे से हटो मम्मी, अब चिंटू की बारी है।
Oh no!
अब चलो तुम दोनों को शेर के पिंजरे में डालता हूँ। मम्मी बचाओ, ये हमें शेर को खिलाने के लिए ले जा रहा है।
Oh no!
अरे बाबू छोड़ दे उन्हें, आज दिवाली है तो तुम सब मिल के पटाखे जलाओ। अरे बाबू आज दिवाली है, हमें शेर को मत खिलाओ। चलो हम सब मिलकर ढेर सारे पटाखे फोड़ेंगे। तो तुम दोनों ने मुझे रॉकेट से बांधकर आसमान में क्यों उड़ाया? पहले तो तुमने ही हमें आसमान में उड़ाया था। देखो वो रहा शेर पिंजरे में।
Oh no!
अब तुम दोनों दिवाली की दावत बनोगे उस शेर का। नहीं नहीं बाबू मुझे छोड़ दो, मैं इतनी जल्दी मरना नहीं चाहती। हाँ बाबू, अगर तुम हमें छोड़ दोगे ना तो मैं तुम्हें ढेर सारे पटाखे खरीद कर दूंगा। क्या सच में तुम मुझे ढेर सारे पटाखे दोगे? हाँ बस हमें छोड़ दो। ठीक है तो चलो वापस। अब इस रॉकेट पर से उतरेंगे कैसे बाबू? ये रॉकेट तो रुक ही नहीं रहा। मैं इसे पार्क में से लेकर चलता हूँ। जैसे ही रॉकेट वहाँ पहुँचेगा हम सब रॉकेट पर से कूद जाएंगे। हाँ ये ठीक रहेगा। जल्दी कूदो। मैंने तुम दोनों को शेर को नहीं खिलाया। चलो अब ढेर सारे पटाखे दो मुझे। घुइयां ले ले। क्या तुम मुझे ढेर सारे पटाखे नहीं दोगे? वो तो हम तुम्हें उल्लू बना रहे थे। मुझे उल्लू बना दिया। अरे तुम सब यहाँ पर हो और मैंने तुम्हें कहाँ नहीं ढूंढा, लेकिन हमें क्यों ढूंढ रहे हो पापा? अरे मैं तुम तीनों के लिए दिवाली के बहुत सारे पटाखे लेकर आया हूँ। जल्दी घर जाओ, वहीं पर है। जल्दी भाग चिंटू, और तेज दौड़ो चिंटू। जो पहले पहुँचेगा उसे ज्यादा पटाखा मिलेगा। तब तो मैं जल्दी पहुँचूंगा और उन सभी पटाखों पर कब्जा कर लूंगा। मुझे तो ये तेज फटने वाला पटाखा मिला है और मुझे ये बहुत ही ज्यादा तेज फटने वाला पटाखा मिला है। तो फिर तुम जाओ और रॉकेट उड़ाओ, मैं और चिंकी तो पटाखे फोड़ेंगे। लेकिन मैं तुम दोनों को इस रॉकेट से बांध कर दोबारा उड़ाऊंगा, वो भी बहुत ऊपर आसमान में। क्या?
Oh no!
अब उल्लू नहीं बनूंगा, अब अपना बदला लेकर ही रहूंगा। मम्मी पापा जल्दी घर से बाहर आओ और हमें बचाओ। अब ऊपर जाओ, बचाओ।
They called her a pirate. They whispered that she was cursed. They swore that wherever her black-sailed ship touched the horizon, storms followed. But what if I told you that before she became the most feared name in the sea, she was a princess who once believed in fairy tales? And what if I told you that the treasure she risked her life to find was not gold, not jewels, but something far more powerful, something stolen from her when she was only a child? Stay with me, because by the end of this story, you may question who the real villains were, and whether courage is born in palaces or in pain. Princess Alara of Valamir grew up in a kingdom where the ocean sparkled like crushed diamonds beneath the sun. From her balcony, she would watch ships sail into the harbor, their sails swelling with wind, their crews shouting songs that echoed against the castle walls. Unlike other princesses who dreamed of grand balls and jeweled crowns, Alara dreamed of salt spray on her face and adventure in her veins. Her father, King Elderic, was a stern but loving ruler. He often told her that the sea was unpredictable, beautiful but merciless. A ruler, he would say, must be like the ocean, strong, patient, and deep. Alara listened carefully, but she always wondered why strength had to mean staying behind stone walls. When she was 12, everything changed. One autumn night, the kingdom celebrated a treaty with neighboring lands. Lanterns floated into the sky like tiny stars escaping Earth. Music filled the courtyard. But beyond the cliffs, in the dark folds of the sea, ships without flags approached. They came like shadows. Ruthless pirates, led by the feared Captain Morvain, stormed the harbor before the guards could react. Flames devoured wooden docks. Screams cut through the music. Alara watched from her balcony as chaos swallowed her world. She ran to find her father, but before she reached the throne room, she saw Morvain's blade strike him down. The sound of steel meeting steel echoed in her ears long after. Her father's crown rolled across the marble floor, stopping at her feet. That a guard grabbed her and dragged her through hidden tunnels beneath the castle. "Run," he urged. Live. By dawn, Valamir was no longer hers. Years passed, and the world believed Princess Alara had perished in the flames. But the sea had claimed her instead. The guard who saved her left her in the care of an old fisherman named Tomas in a distant coastal village. Tomas taught her how to mend nets, read tides, and steer by the stars. At night, she would stare at the horizon and whisper promises to the wind. She did not grow up soft. She grew up sharp. When Tomas died, leaving her alone at 17, Alara sold the small hut and bought a broken fishing boat. She repaired it herself, plank by plank. She renamed it the Sea Wraith. It was the first thing she had ever owned that felt like freedom, but freedom required power. She began recruiting those forgotten by the world, escaped servants, wronged sailors, orphans of shipwrecks. She never lied to them. "I seek justice," she would say. "Not cruelty, not greed. If you follow me, you follow truth." They followed. Within 5 years, the Sea Wraith was no longer a patched fishing boat, but a sleek black-sailed vessel feared across trade routes. Alara had become Captain Wraith, her identity hidden behind a wide-brimmed hat and a calm, commanding voice. She attacked only ships tied to Morvain and his allies. She took gold, yes, but she also freed prisoners and returned stolen goods to poor villages. Still, the world called her pirate. One night, a captured merchant sneered at her. "You pretend to be righteous, but you are no better than Morvain." Alara said nothing, but his words cut deeper than any blade. Was she becoming what she hated? Then came the news that froze her blood. Captain Morvain was alive. Older, richer, and now ruling from an island fortress known as Blacktide Hold. Worse still, rumors claimed he possessed a relic stolen from Valamir. The royal compass, an ancient heirloom said to point not north, but toward what one desired most, Her father had once told her the compass symbolized the heart of the kingdom, if Morvain still had it. Then Valamir's spirit had never truly been free. Alara gathered her crew under a moonlit sky. This is not about gold, she told them. It is about ending a ghost that has haunted us all. Some hesitated. Blacktide Hold was surrounded by reefs sharp as teeth and cannons that never slept. But none abandoned her. The journey tested them. Storms battered their ship. Supplies ran thin. Doubt crept in like cold fog. One of her closest crew members, a fierce young woman named Mira, confronted her. Are we following revenge or hope? Mira demanded. Because they are not the same. Alara stood silent for a long time. The wind whipped her dark hair across her face. I don't know anymore, she admitted. But I know I cannot sail away from this. When they reached Blacktide Hold, the island rose from the sea like a jagged crown of stone. Cannons roared as soon as they were spotted. The sea wraith twisted through reefs with impossible precision, Alara steering as if the ocean itself obeyed her. They stormed the fortress at dawn. Steel clashed. Smoke filled the air. Alara fought her way through corridors carved into rock until she reached the highest chamber. There stood Morvain, older but unmistakable, his scarred face lit by cruel amusement. Well, he said, the princess returns. The word struck her like lightning. He had known all along. They fought fiercely. Morvain was strong, but Alara was fueled by years of loss and survival. When she finally disarmed him, her blade hovered at his throat. This was the moment she had dreamed of, but as she looked into his eyes, she saw not power, but emptiness. Killing him would not rebuild her kingdom. It would not bring back her father's. Oh, she lowered her sword. You will stand trial, she said. Not by my hand, but by the people you destroyed. Her crew stared in shock, but slowly, understanding dawned that in the chamber behind him. She found the royal compass. Its golden surface was scratched but intact. When she held it, the needle trembled and then pointed not toward the sea, not toward treasure, but toward the horizon where Valamir once stood. Tears blurred her vision. Months later, with Morvain imprisoned and his fleet dismantled, Alara sailed home. Valamir was still scarred, but not dead. Villagers remembered the princess who survived. They did not see a pirate when she stepped ashore. They saw a leader forged by fire and tide. She never denied her years at sea. She wore her scars openly during her coronation. I was called a pirate, she told her people, but I learned that a title does not define your heart. We are not what the world names us. We are what we choose to become. Under Queen Alara's rule, the kingdom rebuilt stronger than before. Trade flourished, but so did compassion. The sea wraith remained in the harbor, not as a weapon, but as a reminder. And sometimes, on quiet nights, Queen Alara would walk alone to the cliffs and listen to the waves. She understood now what her father meant. To be like the ocean was not to be cruel. It was to endure storms without losing depth. The next time you hear a story about a pirate feared across the seas, ask yourself, what pain shaped her? What love guided her blade? And if your own life feels stolen or broken, remember this princess who became a pirate, and then something even greater. Because sometimes, the treasure you seek is not gold hidden beneath the sea, but the courage hidden within you all along.